And welcome everyone, thank you very much for tuning in for our daily Liverpool news show. If you're new around here and want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool related throughout the week, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below and put your bell notification on also. And make sure to get involved in the comment section below. As always, I will reply to every single one of them. And if you've got any questions or feedback or whatnot, I will put them into the video, into the content as well, so you can all ask one another. But I appreciate all the support as always. Reds, hope you're keeping safe and well at this minute. Obviously, we'll discuss the big news that is circulating Liverpool social media at the minute. Konaté, R.I.P Leipzig, Liverpool looking like that is the potential new centre-back they will be recruiting. I've got David Ornstein and a lot of great journalists, their latest tweets on the topic anyway of him potentially coming to Liverpool. And Salah and Mane, as a little talk about them. I want to gauge your thoughts and opinions on whether they should have a bit more, not just Liverpool players, but international players, if they should have a bit more security in and around them anyway when they're away on international duty. But to start off the show anyway, sad thoughts and prayers go out to Claude from Arsenal Fan TV, his family at this difficult moment. I never had the opportunity to meet Claude, but I know a lot of people that have worked with him behind the scenes doing content, and he was an absolute gentleman. I'm really gutted that I didn't have the opportunity to meet him, because he really does seem like an absolute gentleman, a lovely man, and thoughts and prayers do go out to his family. And it really does stress the platforms in which we have, in YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and that it needs to be some sort of regulation. We've seen it with racism as well on Twitter, and really guidelines. There's a lot of knobheads out there that are just sending. I've had them in the past as well, and I think every single one of you online have had the odd silly twat send you messages, and really thoughts do go out to Claude and his family, and anyone really, if you ever want to speak, or if you just send us a message day or night, really, on all my social media platforms. And it's very difficult, the current circumstance in which we do find that everyone finds themselves in. It's very difficult. I've struggled as well. I know a lot of people out there have struggled, but Claude and his family, sad, really gutted to see the news this morning. But Claude and his family, thoughts and prayers from every Liverpool fan around the world. We'll get straight into David Ornstein's tweet now. It rocked Liverpool transfer news. Everyone went mad over the last couple of days. The news did come out, as you can see here on the screen. Very well respected journalist David Ornstein of The Athletic. Exclusive: Liverpool working to finalise deal for Ibrahima Konaté from RB Leipzig. Not done, but significant progress made, plus LFC pursuit of the 21-year-old French centre-back. Now advanced, likely his 40 million release clause will need paying. And then that is followed up by Fabrizio Romano, just obviously quoting David Ornstein, reported today. He's one of the targets Liverpool's on the centre-back list, but he's not done / signed yet. RB Leipzig wanting the full 40 million euro release clause to sell him. Talks ongoing on personal terms until June 2026. It's very interesting, Reds. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. There's a lot of great podcasts out there being analysing. Obviously, I don't watch a lot of Bundesliga football, but there's the Blood Red podcast that is on YouTube. I really do recommend checking out the lads' content on there. I think it's the lads from Liverpool Echo, but whoever it is, they do fantastic content. I'll leave the links into the video in the description anyway, so you can go and check it out. They really talk in depth really about the target and profile in which Liverpool are targeting our similar centre-backs. They all seem to be quite similar. Obviously very good in the air. They're going to be comfortable in possession of the ball, especially considering how high Liverpool love to press up the pitch, whether that's with Van Dijk, Gomez or Konaté. His injury record has been one big talking point from every single one of you online as Red fans. Even me was like, oh, another injured centre back. But it is interesting the way in which his little niggly injuries, he's been ruled out for a very long time. In his most recent one, he was out for a couple of months. But if Liverpool can get him fully fit, and obviously Upamecano, who has gone to Bayern Munich coming the end of this season anyway, he signed a pre-contract with the German champions. With him going in that direction to Bayern Munich, Konaté, from all reports from a lot of journalists around the world, when they've talked about Konaté, he thinks a lot more with his head. Yes, he's a big physical presence on the pitch. He's quite rapid over the first 10 to 15 yards. But if you're comparing Konaté and Upamecano, they discussed Konaté being a lot more clever in terms of his defending. He thinks one or two steps ahead. Upamecano heavily relies on his pace. Don't get me wrong, Upamecano is a very good centre-back, but we made him look very average, like a lot of our forwards do anyway. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, Reds. It will be interesting to see how this pursuit does conclude in the coming months and time. So it is interesting, like we've seen in the previous window just gone, Liverpool was scraping the barrel really around Europe. We were like, oh, we need a couple of centre-backs because obviously Virgil van Dijk and Gomez. It's very rare that you get your two main centre-backs out for a very long time, but Liverpool we can't be letting this happen next season. We've seen how much of a big of a gap it has been between us and City this season. They addressed their issues with Diaz in the transfer window, Ake as well, and Liverpool have got to do that now in this coming transfer window. We've got to go out and big and pursue a lot of very good, capable centre-backs, defenders that are good, defending the high line, very quick, good in the air as well, especially if teams are going to try and beat our press and just hit long balls. It's so important that Liverpool do get that first and second and even third ball in terms of the aerial bombardment from opposition teams next season, which we've seen this season. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see this lad play. I've seen him a couple of times in the Bundesliga, and obviously he didn't play when Liverpool played him in the Champions League. But I'm intrigued to see how this story does develop. Let me know your thoughts on this story, everyone. Would you like Liverpool to continue this pursuit, which looking like we will possibly get him? Whether this was a signal to other transfer targets and agents, whether to leak this story to the press and try and whoever clubs we are negotiating with their centre-backs to lower their asking price. It could be a game of brinkmanship for Michael Edwards. You might be wanting to target another centre-back and obviously leaking this story, or whoever it has. Obviously David Ornstein, very credible journalist, so it's very much concrete what's come out of there. So it's interesting. Right, on to the next story now, everyone. This comes from James Pearce of The Athletic as well. Another Salah interview in Spain, this time with Marca. Are you keen to try out La Liga? He was asked. Salah replies, hope to be able to play for many more years. Why not? No one knows what's going to happen in the future, so maybe one day. And obviously the headlines will be this week. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah refuses to rule out La Liga move, and yeah, it's interesting, but I know I can already envision every other replies on social media to everyone's stories to Salah. Anyway, he's excited, and I love him a lot more than to see Mohamed Salah finish his career at Liverpool, because what a legendary forward he has been for Liverpool Football Club. And obviously the security, I know I've spoken at the top of the show, I was very concerned with Mohamed Salah and Mane. If you haven't seen it, go on Twitter. Obviously, I know a lot of fans will be excited when they do go back home, but the security was very... There was loads of fans coming up to Salah on the pitch, touching his face, and obviously the current climate in which we do find ourselves in with COVID-19 anyway, I was very disappointed to see there wasn't a lot more security. I understand the fans being excited to see their iconic stars of their country and national team anyway, but hopefully that does improve in the coming weeks. I think Liverpool as a football club will not be happy with what they've seen, obviously due to regulations that every club has in Europe at the minute, obviously due to a tight schedule of players were out due to COVID, due to international duties. I think we'll find out in a couple of weeks how successful the international duty has been in terms of players coming back, hopefully with no COVID symptoms and all that, but we'll have to see in the coming weeks. But Reds, bit of a long one, but thank you very much every single one of you for tuning in. Really do appreciate you, absolute legends. And if you are new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, put your bell notification so you always do get notified. And yeah, I'll try and do a bit of a live stream tomorrow, if not a bit later today. But Reds, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you put that notification bell on as well. So, and even if a video isn't on the channel, I know YouTube hasn't really been pushing out a lot of people's content lately. But just keep on checking your sub boxes anyway. And everyone, keep safe, keep well, and as always, Reds, you'll never walk alone. Chill out.